can you leave your body, go out to the other side, and get answers for that specific scenario? Like, could I pop out and go, hey, what should I be doing? Should I be tripling down on my YouTube right now?
To really appreciate our power and our divinity, we have to experience what it's like to not be powerful and not be divine, right? And that contrast alone is the greatest experience you can ever do, and that alone adds so much to your soul experience. So like, that's why a lot of people want to come here.
Okay, but tell me, so first time, or you're starting to do it consistently, you're popping out, were you greeted by anyone or anything? Did you have any scary experiences?
So when you come here, you can step into darkness, and to come here and be in complete forgetfulness and darkness and coming so far away from your natural divine self and still finding your way back to the light, that's an amazing thing. Hey, you can too. You can leave your body and verify everything I'm telling you.
Oh man, this episode was so fun. We had on the Alchemist. He's an out-of-body experiencer. He does it all the time, consistently. If you're still skeptical on this topic, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's thousands, if not millions of people who now can do it. Just do a light Google search. You will find that out. Look up the Monroe Institute. Look up the Gateway Experience. Look up the CIA and how much money they're pumping into this program. Astral projection. Go to some episodes on Sean Ryan. There's so many. And obviously, through my personal experience, I know that this is real. Talked about a lot. So we talked about some hard stuff, like leaving this life early. We talked about why bad things happen. We talked about, does he meet other beings on the other side? What's it like? Just his journey, really, from very first time to now doing this all the time. And had a lot of fun. This was a really fun conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and/or leave me a like or a comment. It helps get exposure to the episode. And this is what I want to do full time. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support. And without further ado, let's get on with it. Brought you on because I want to talk about OBEs, right? You have gotten to the point where you can do this at will. Is it? I mean, are you at that? Yeah. And did you learn from Darius?
Yeah, I learned from Darius. Yeah.
Do you follow his protocol exactly, or do you have a little bit of a edit to how you do it? Because for me, it didn't work exactly how he said it. I had to do something else, but curious.
Yeah, I'm a fan of not putting anybody in a box, right? So when you release a method or something, you say this is how it's supposed to happen. It's never that. It's never black and white. There's always gray areas. But what is important is that you understand the foundations of it, the underlying truth where, it's this may happen, and then you feel the separation and you leave. So that is, important to understand, is that's like the foundation of any type of way, but how you get there can change for sure.
Do you remember, or I guess tell me about the first time you did it. How long ago was that?
Oh yeah. So the first time I had an OBE was probably, maybe a year and a half ago, probably like a year and a half ago. Was the first time I had an OBE, and and it's kind of a gray area there as well, because before I even found Darius, I was kind of leaving my body already, but I just didn't know what it was exactly. But yeah, as soon as I joined his method, I began practicing. Then I had the knowledge to know what it is that's happening, where I'm going, things I might see, and the overall exiting process, right? So the first time I really had an OBE was probably like a year and a half ago. And, I did his method pretty much to a T, exactly how he teaches it. And I was able to leave. You get out, you see your physical body on the bed. And right away it confirms that, we exist outside of here. So like, that was the first realization, that I had.
Yeah, because you seem pretty nonchalant about it. But did it blow your mind? I mean, were you just like, what the hell? This is, because to me, it was that kind of moment. I was like, oh my, and I'll tell you about mine briefly, but I want to focus more on you. But I never popped out in this world. Like, I never turned around and saw myself. I'm gunning towards that. That's what I want to do this year. The next 6 months, I'm going to document the journey. I more popped out in like I was definitely in a different place. I don't, it almost feels like a lucid dream to me. However, I remember it. I feel real. I remember looking at it like, whoa. And I remember I was trying to do it. Um, and I had this crazy vibrational experience I've never, ever, ever felt before. It was like from just the center of my soul, man. It was vibrating everything. And then I heard this loud snap. I felt myself floating, all of that. And the two
Yeah.
times I did it, it was that vibration experience popped out and I was floating. Two times I was in different places though. One time I was in a cabin. The first time I was like above a house and there's like a playground below me. It was interesting, but I've never popped out, turned
Mm.
around. Regardless though, blew my mind. I mean, after
Yeah.
that happened, I was like, oh shit, this is definitely real.
Yeah, it's definitely real. Yeah. And at first you do have that realization, when you first get into these things, it's like, oh wow, this is real. Like this is insane, right? Yeah, you have all those realizations, all those feelings, and yeah, I had all of that too. And then where the nonchalantness about me comes in is, after a while when you do these repeatedly, like all the time, it just becomes a way of life. And then as you do it more and you leave the electromagnetic grid where that kind of like keeps the information in here and where we are, once you leave there, and then your memories start to come back, it's like, okay, now the other side is more home and that's more real than here. So after a while, you start to shift. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to be here now? Like now that you can do that, are you like, yeah, do you want to just do it all the time, 24/7? Or is it not like that?
It goes through phases for sure. Sometimes you want to do it all the time, yeah, but then other times, life becomes more exciting because now you know that you really are the creator, right? And you can do whatever you want. So it is fun to be here too, to experience things here. And as you move more in alignment with your soul's purpose and things, doors start to open up, things become easier, and then you find people that, you used to know in other lifetimes that are here, soul partners, everything like that. So it becomes more fun, and then you no longer seek to escape because you know you can create whatever here.
Wow. I love that. Do you come across skeptics and or do you care? I mean, do you have people who are like, "Are you really leaving your body?" Or are you like,
Yeah, I
tell me
mean,
about
some
that.
people, yeah, some people, they're skeptical of it. They're like, is it real or is it not? But
Which
I'm
is
like,
healthy, I
listen,
think, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's
I'm like,
I understand.
yeah, yeah, I understand. I would have been the same way,
Same.
right?
It's crazy to talk about, honestly.
Yeah, but then once you have it, and because I don't just tell people like, hey, I'm doing these things, I'm going to the other side, I'm accessing this information, but I'm like, hey, you can too. You can leave your body and verify everything I'm telling you. You know, you can leave your body, see your physical body sleeping. You can go here, you can go there, you can command your space. Like, so it's verifiable, at the end of the day. It's not like, it's a one off thing. So, and if people still don't believe it after that, it's like, okay, you'll find out one way or another. Either, you can either find out now or you can find out when this life is over. So,
Yeah,
you know.
no, I feel that. Okay, so tell me, so you started figuring out how to pop out consistently, and I want to talk about your
Mhm.
method, if that's okay. Do you share your method online, or do you?
Um, so, I mean, my method is pretty much, Darius's method, but
Okay,
I have learned some other ways on top of that. I'll be posting them soon. I think I'm going to post one the way I do it on my website coming up soon,
okay, cool,
and
cool,
things
cool.
like that. But yeah.
So I'll link that all down below. Okay, but tell me, so first time, or you're starting to do it consistently, you're popping out. Were you greeted by anyone or anything? Did you have any scary experiences?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say scary experiences. The most scary experiences I've had was when I was like astral projection, before I knew everything. Like before I found Darius and he was explaining how we're our ultimate authority and things like that. I would navigate the astral realms like through astral projection, and I'd see things that would kind of creep me out. But once I started having out of body experiences, that kind of stopped. Right? It was more so um, so at first I did run into some beings. Like when I first started leaving my body, a seraphim came to visit me.
What's
At
that?
the time, I didn't know what it was. It's the highest form of angels, right? Essentially. So when they appear to you, they appear in like a black hood, a black robe type um, outfit, and I couldn't see their face. And there was just this stern wisdom like feeling. It reminded me like a sternness of like a father, right? Like a father figure. So it wasn't scary, but it was just like this guy means business,
Like,
you
do they
know?
look like the Grim Reaper kind of?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
comparison. Yeah.
Okay.
But like I knew it wasn't the Grim Reaper. So like I knew I could sense the wisdom in him, you know?
I got you.
Um and at the time I didn't know that's what it was. I just I had a talk with Darius about that. He explained that's probably what it is. And then they've came to me after that too. They come to me quite often. So now I know, what it was. So that happened in the beginning. My mom came to me early on in the beginning. And then there was this like crazy witch lady I used to call her, where I come out and she just had like this raspy voice, and she wasn't scary necessarily, but she was there. And I'm under the belief that that was because of the house I was in, because once I left that house, I never seen her again. So
Like you would pop out and she's in the corner.
yeah, it was some weird type stuff, man. Like I remember one time I was half in my body, half out of my body, and I just heard her like crying behind me, and I'm like, "Oh man, like what do you want today? Like why are you here crying? Like what's going
Yeah,
on?"
it's freaky. That's my
Yeah.
barrier, so that's definitely gonna be my battle. I'm gonna have to get over the fear because I'm scared. That definitely sounds scary to me, but I'll figure it out. Um, do
So, and
they?
about fear real quick. So, things are only scary when you're in your physical body, right? Because the physical body can be hurt, it can be harmed, right? It can be entrapped. But once you're out, nothing can hurt or harm you. So like that fear should just dissipate, right? Because now you are your ultimate authority. You are in your ultimate form. You can't be killed because you just left your physical body. So the thing that can be killed is you are not no longer that. You are now your eternal aspect. So um, even sorry, even today, as I'm leaving, sometimes when I'm in my physical body, sometimes even then it will be um, not scary, but you may those fear and those thoughts may come in, but as soon as you leave, everything is okay.
Okay.
It's a knowing. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do they, when you come across beings, do they know that you're a human popping out, or are they just viewing you as like a soul? Are they like, oh shit, you got out? Like, do they do any of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, or?
So it depends, right? There's different type of levels of beings on the other side, like just like humans, right? So not when you're on the other side and you run into a soul, not every soul is gonna know or have the knowledge that like you have or that you're seeking. It's same with humans, right? So it depends. Sometimes when I'm in like the lower realms, they don't really know. They just see me and they'll be like, "Oh, hey," and they don't have the answers I'm seeking for. Or they don't really know, and sometimes I'll even tell them like, "Hey, I'm an out of body traveler," and they'll be like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Other times, but all the higher beings, like from realm 3 and above, I would say, like they all know. Like, yeah, they all know. They're like, and a lot of times they'll come to me. Um, to tell me things specifically, things that like I should be doing or that like I need to do, or like don't do it this way, do it that way type of thing. So they'll know. And then yeah, so it depends who you run into. It's just like here, there's souls that don't really care about this type of stuff, that are just here to have fun, and then there's the others that take it serious. Yeah.
Okay, and did you, what's the first thing you try to confirm while
All
you're
right. So
here? Did
the
you
first thing I
or
tried to confirm was, all right, so I had to confirm that I exist outside of here, right? So the first thing I was like, all right, let me see my physical body and let me verify that. So I see my physical body, and then I was like, all right, let me touch my hands. Do they still feel real? And then I would touch the floor, and I'm like, okay, so it is real, because everybody else having out of bodies, they'd say when you touch something, it feels more real than here. So I was like, all right, let me touch something. And it's true. You can feel every element within the substance, the entire chemical makeup of it. You can feel it. and it feels more real than here. And you can also, and then I went and I was like, all right, let me adjust my vibration and see if I can move through it. And then you can do that. And then I'm like, okay, I've experimented with a lot of different things because like that's just the way my mind thinks. It's like, okay, if I can do this, what else can I do, type of thing. I've experimented with just like the energy field around me, trying to see like how if I change my feeling, like will it light up different? Um, can I change my surroundings? Can I change my physical appearance? Can I fly through my roof? I've done that. And then, once I experimented, at first for a long time, I was just like, okay, how long can I stay out? How can I navigate? If I open up my door, where will it take me? Can I make it so as soon as I open up my door, I'm transported somewhere? I've done that. Um, and then after I've experimented like around my house and my physical body and stuff like that, then I was like, okay, let me leave here. Let me go see the other realms. Let me leave the entire construct. Let me, go do some other stuff. So yeah.
Is it like what Darius said? I mean, when you, because he talks about you leave this construct and we're like the big show, right? And everyone's kind of looking down at us on Earth. Is it like that?
Yeah, yeah, it is. That's a great explanation. Because this is like one of the bigger constructs on the other side. So there's many constructs. There's many universes, you can say, all different sizes, all different shapes. A lot of them do appear round, like with the firmament, kind of like this one. Other ones, they're not. They're just like he describes them as puddles on the floor. Like that's another good analogy. I've seen some of those. But a lot of them, they're all different types. But this one particularly, this one looks like a snow globe. Like there's like a base to it, and it's bigger. And where I see it, it's like in the middle of a room, right? Like there's other constructs around it, but like this one is like front and center. It's like literally in the center, and it's like a big one. And it is
Why?
it is because this is the only one of its kind. It's the biggest, most intense designed one that there is. Like there's 12 realms in this one. This is out of all the constructs that I've seen, this is the only one with like 12 realms that's designed like this. This is the only one where you can come in and you're born and you forget who you are. Like there's a lot of planning and things that went into this construct. Like this is by far the greatest creation yet. And I say yet because, once this is over, every soul in here is going to have an idea for another one, right? So, but as of now, yeah, this is the greatest one. There's just so much thought that went into it, man. Everything's connected. The 13 beings that made this, they mirrored 12 realms after themselves. The night sky is a map of this place. The bodies being intelligently designed, the fact that there's a veil of forgetfulness, there's a hierarchy within here. Like it's intense. This universe. Yeah, this hasn't been done before. So with that said, this is a hot spot. This is like, okay, let's go. And this is the only place where we can experience what it's like to forget who we are, and that in its own state is a great thing to experience, right? Because if you think about it, um, if to really understand what it's like to enjoy a sunny day, you have to know what it's like to enjoy a rainy day, to experience a rainy day, right? To really appreciate the sun, right? So, with that same concept, to really appreciate our power and our divinity, we have to experience what it's like to not be powerful and not be divine, right? And that contrast alone is the greatest experience you can ever do. And that alone adds so much to your soul experience. So like that's why a lot of people want to come here, is to get that experience, because if you don't have it firsthand, you'll never know what it's like, and your appreciation for everything changes.
I love that. I love how you explain that. And I was like talking to my wife the other day, and I was like, "Well, picture this. This is a ride, right? And there's only so many seats, and then there's a lot more people who want to like be here and play the game than there is available seats. Or maybe a stadium's a better example, right? And the stadium's full, tickets are sold out, and so it is kind of a rare experience to be here. Is that accurate? Would you feel like
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
okay?
for sure. Yeah, it is rare because a lot of people want to come here, and there are, you can say a limited number of seats just because the amount of planning it takes to come in here, especially in round one, where, we're picking our life plans, our parents, our kids, like everything. That takes a lot, right? And you have to be born in here, and there's only so many available seats, you could say, yeah.
Can you be born into a tree?
Into a tree?
Yeah, like if you want to come just be an oak tree on this planet, can you do that?
Yeah. Not so much trees. But I mean, you can have memories of trees, like cells and stuff, like because you can tap into it. So like you can for sure have a memory of a tree, but that's just like you tapping into it. But for real, you can only incarnate here. You can say in living beings that have souls. Like animals, humans, other races. Things like that. Yeah.
Got it. Do you feel like it's a like is it a cheat code to be on this
Oh
planet? You
yeah.
think like figuring out how to like leave your body, is that a cheat code or is that by design? Like we're all supposed to eventually do that. Give me one second. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um,
So
so
I
I'm gonna ask
I
that
do
again real quick,
call.
just so we make sure
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, do you think it's a cheat code to be able to leave your body? Like it's a thing that you can discover and do, or do you feel like we're all designed to eventually learn that we can leave our bodies?
All right. So there's two ways to look at this. All right. So yeah, in short, yes, we all are designed to leave our body. It's something we naturally do. It's something that in the past we were doing naturally. Just as you go to sleep, you leave your body, you return home, and things like that. But in the state that we are in now, the state of the human consciousness, how low we are right now, this is the lowest that we've ever been. Um, this is a cheat code because you can escape the matrix. I call this the game of life, right? It's all a game. Like that's what we do as souls. On the other side, there's base reality. We create constructs to have experiences in, or you can say games to play, to have fun, to experience, right? Same as here. Like you're a human, you're a little bored. Let's create a game, right? Let's play it. This is just so I call this the game of life. And having an out of body experience is a cheat code because once you have an out of body experience, you can break out of the game and you can see the code. You have all the answers. You can see whatever you desire, right? And then you can come back and even unlock things in the physical. It's all about what you put your energy to, right? Like you can have all this knowledge, but really, are you taking the time to implement it into your life and things like that, right? Because essentially, you can become like Neo in the Matrix, um, for sure.
Wild, man. It's just wild. Um, okay, so when you started figuring this out, as you've come back, what are some examples maybe of some things that you've decided, like, all right, now that I know I'm Neo in the Matrix, like, how has that changed your life here?
So, I was already pretty much playing with things, playing with reality before I was leaving my body. Like I was manifesting things. Like I remember sitting at my job and saying, "Okay, this is gonna happen." Like, we had a room that was off limits because it was like proprietary information, and I'm like, "Yo, I want to see what's in that room." So 10, 15 minutes later, somebody would come and they take me to that room, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, this really is a game, right?" And I really am controlling it. So it's things like that, and now that I'm leaving my body, now I want to start to do things to implement, like what I've learned, based like embody my soul's frequency here in the physical. I want to change my physical body, to the best of my ability. Things take time, but it's happening. I want to be able to be tapped in all the time, so when I have an out of body, I can bring back the information here and keep it longer, keep these abilities longer. Because like initially, when I come back, a lot of times I'm very tapped in. Like I can see potential futures. I can the energy. I can manipulate energy different and better. But in time, after being here, like it can just be as little as one conversation with somebody in the matrix that flips your thinking back, and then those abilities are cut off. It can be as simple as eating food that's not good for you that switches that off. It can be the easiest thing to switch that off. So what I'm working on now specifically is um, trying to obtain these abilities from the out of body state and to be able to keep them longer in my physical body so I can continue to build upon them instead of gaining them, losing them, gaining them again, you know, so I just want to keep building upon it.
Yeah, it's awesome because you're only, yeah, like you said, a year and a half in, so a lot of time still. Um, Darius describes this is something I never understood, and maybe I would love to hear your take on it. But Darius describes what he does as the great work, right? He says going and
Mm-hmm.
teaching other people how to leave their bodies. I never understood this. If the point is to forget, right? Maybe it's not the point to forget, but um, why is it important to then have people remember to wake up? Why is that important?
Okay. All right. So this can be thought of in a couple different ways, right? All right, so it's important to wake up because everything that could be experienced here has been experienced by one soul or another, right? Everything's recorded here. So the fact that you experience something, that means out of my body when I leave here, I can have that same experience so I know what that's like, right? So since everything is experienced here, there is no reason to have people here in forgetfulness and suffering anymore. There's a lot of suffering in the world. Like I just left Egypt where people are poor, struggling, there's flies. It's a horrible environment for people. There is no more need for that, right? Let's end all the suffering here and wake everybody up and have heaven on earth again, right? Because we've experienced everything that we can experience here in forgetfulness, in suffering, in the matrix that we're in. There's no more need for that, right? But you still have to wake up from within the system. You can't just wake up everybody. The same way, and when I tell you I leave my body, it might blow your mind. Imagine if all the secrets of the universe came in, it would fry people out, right? It's such a large contrast from here to there. So you have to wake up from within the system, and it has to be slowly. Now, why is this called the great work? Because the greatest thing you can do is tell somebody that's struggling, that's working every day, hey, it's okay. You exist outside of here. Wake them up to the other side. Wake them up to the eternal aspect of themselves. Let them know that heaven exists and it's not outside of them, it's within them. Teach them that they can change their reality by changing their inner world, right? That's the greatest thing one can do. And it's also the great work because it's the ultimate truth. It's the eternal aspect of yourself. That is the truth. Anything here, all the thought forms created here, that's it. It's just a thought form. Every belief structure, you have to wake up, go to work, go to school, pay your mortgage, do all of that. It's all a made up thought structure. Holidays, birthdays, um, the calendar, everything is a made up thought structure. It doesn't exist. It's not real. The only thing real is that you exist outside of here. It's all templates of the game, really. So.
So would you say this is the greatest pursuit anyone can do, is try to, I guess, leave their body?
Yeah, in the human form, yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, because
Damn.
it's the end of the line, man. Think about it. Every religion ever, what do they talk about? They talk about the other side, right?
Oh
What do
yeah,
we
they
do
all do in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, yeah. And what do we do as out of body travelers? We see the other side. We are actually there. So you could no longer lie to me about anything because guess what? I can go and see it for myself. All about the other side. So anytime anybody says anything, channelers or anything, it's like, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm gonna leave my body and see it for myself. It's the end of the line. It's the ultimate truth. It's everything. This is very temporary. This whole human experience is very temporary. And out of your body, you'll realize that as soon as you remember another life or have or experience another life that you've had, or even once you leave and you reflect back on this life, it literally feels like a blink of an eye, like just a second, you know. So it's a very temporary thing. So don't get too fixated on anything here because it's much bigger than here.
I was just like picturing, like, imagine you and I are sitting there on the other side watching. I know TV's not a thing, but let's say we're watching TV. Maybe it is a thing if we want it to be a thing. We're watching
Yeah, yeah.
TV and something popped up, and you're like, dude, there's no way I would react that way. Or like, let's say it's about a family, and you're like, there's no way I would do that. I'd be a good dad. And I'm like, dude, no, you wouldn't. You would not be a good dad. And you're like, you know what, man? I'm gonna go find out. And you go, hold on 1 second. You leave, open the door. 10 seconds later, you open it back up, and you're like, oh shit, that was so much harder than I thought. Like, is it like that? Like you can,
It's
and I'm
just
like,
like that,
see, I
man.
told you, man. That's
It's just like that. Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, like that's why I try to do comparisons for people, and I'm like, all right, picture us hanging around, and we got an idea for a video game, and we want to go create one, right? That's the same thing as creating a universe. It's the same thing. And say you want to go have an experience, like, yo, you're not gonna be exactly like you said. You're not exactly like you said, man. Yeah.
that's so funny. Like, dude, you're gonna be a deadbeat father. No, I'm not, man. I'll show you right now. You're like, see, told you, bro. It's hard. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, that's cool, man. So you said that we're kind of the lowest we've ever been. Do you feel like though, this is the best comeback story ever? Like, do you think we're about to like, are we at a do or die moment in history? Like, we got to start waking up, and or we tip over this way,
Yeah.
or are we past the
So,
tipping point? Are we in the clear now? Is it positive?
all right. So I wouldn't say that there's any tipping point because this is a set thing that's going to happen, right?
Okay.
Because this whole construct is based off of numbers, right? Numbers, energy, and frequency. And when things are based off of numbers, there's certain programs that have to happen, right? There's certain things that need to play out. So this is going to happen regardless. Now, exactly how it's going to happen, that's where the variables lie. But there is a definitive marker that this is going to happen, that we're all going to wake up again and everything's going to open up. That is definitive. Um, so it's not so much that, but now is this the greatest thing that, yes, this is, I would say that, yes, this is the greatest, one of the greatest things. And I had this realization after an out of body. One time I left the construct. I had all these memories of who I was outside of here come back, and then I came back to my body, and I just sat, and I had tears in my eyes, and I just looked around, and I was like, because I remember like where we came from before here, and then remembering how deep and how dark things got here, but still as a collective, how we all rose and like look at where we are now. It was just the most beautiful realization that I've ever had. And this is the greatest thing one can do because you go so far away from yourself when you come here. It can be equated to coming into darkness, right? And so when you come here, you can step into darkness, and to come here and be in complete forgetfulness and darkness and coming so far away from your natural divine self and still finding your way back to the light, that's an amazing thing. And now when every being here is doing that and we all wake up to the light, I mean, that's the greatest thing right there. Yeah, for sure.
I love it, man. Do you pray?
No, who am I praying to?
That's what I'm curious. Like, when you
uh,
like, how do you speak to like either God or yeah, I guess God guides. I know that you and me, we are God. So I guess, do you think there's no point in praying?
all right, so if people are religious and they're watching this, like, I don't want to say there's no point in praying. But do I pray? No, I do not, because I understand who I am. I understand who would I be praying to, myself. So when
Sometimes, for example, I'll
like,
say I pray, and I'm not religious, but I guess I do have a funny moment because I'm like, I understand that I am God, but I'm also in a different version. So I guess when I pray, I maybe pray to my guides or my higher self and say, hey,
the universe, you can talk to the
yeah,
universe or your
yeah,
higher
and I would say
self.
like
Yeah,
I'm confused in this situation. I don't know what I'm doing. I need some guidance here. Like, I'll do that, I guess, but I don't pray
yeah,
to a
yeah,
God
yeah.
per
You can
se.
certainly do that. Yeah, you can talk to the universe if you want and things like that. But for me, it's more so I'm connected more so all the time or a lot of the time. Um, so I just, yeah, I don't
Like,
even
if you
go
got
down that
questions, you're
route
popping
anymore,
out,
man.
right, and you're going to get the answers. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah. And I don't even really have questions anymore,
Wow.
like of what to do. I just know and I'm guided, either way. But for a while there, this is just where I'm at now, but it wasn't always like this. Um, in the beginning, yeah, you can, you know, talk to the universe, ask for signs, ask for guidance, talk to your higher power, whatever that higher power is, whatever higher power you believe in, talk to it. and certainly you can ask for guidance. Yeah.
So if let's say you do have you're going through a situation, and maybe I'm just thinking from again the perspective of I haven't fully popped out yet and done it consistently. So maybe that's the simple answer. Is like, well, you're just not thinking of it correctly. But let's say like I'm going through a hard time over here, and I'm like, man, I again all the knowledge I have of understanding who I am, what I am, I still am having hard times, right? Like I'll be honest, like for me, raising my family, I got two girls. Like yesterday was a really hard day. Like the girls were screaming. It was like my wife and I are exhausted. Wake up today, I got work. Like there's just still a lot going on, man. I got a family. Even
Yeah.
knowing like what I am, right? And I'm like, ah, like I'm ready for abundance, and I visualize, I do all these things, but like when you're in that, or if you have a situation, you wouldn't have that exact situation, but can you leave your body, go out to the other side and get answers for that specific scenario? Like, could I pop out and go, hey, what should I be doing? Should I be tripling down on my YouTube right now? Like, what am I doing? Why am I still struggling down
And
there? And I would get answers.
in short, yes. Yes, you can. Any answer you seek, the answer will be presented to you. Any question you seek, the answer will be presented to you for sure. In short, yes. But yeah. Yeah. If you wanted to get specific answers like that, you certainly can, and they are there. But it would more so be presented more than likely in a more general way. Like, okay, go this direction, everything's okay. Really, what you would get from it is a state of being, like, oh, I'm okay. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter if I take this way, or this way. I'm still gonna end up here. You know, that understanding would more so come, and you wouldn't get so caught up in the day to day things. Like, doesn't matter, what happened today or tomorrow. It just, the overall themes are what matters. You know what I mean? How, but yeah, you can get answers for sure.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, again, it's like my focus is very granular, and you're saying like you'll kind of get a more overarching theme of like, brother, you're good. Like no matter what happens, you're good. Do you think there's people in the government, people, when you talk about, the wealthy people that run this planet, um,
Yeah.
like the really, really rich people, you know what I'm talking about? Not like even like The Rock or like celebrities, but I'm talking about the real people who run the planet. Do they know about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah. They know. Yeah. It's not so much a secret. Even people that aren't even that high up, they know about leaving their body. I mean, you talk to almost every
Well,
celebrity.
obviously,
What are
because
they
I know,
talking
right?
about? Manifestation. Yeah, it's not a secret. They know, but but they even take it a step farther, right? Like, a lot of the higher ups. I don't want to get too much into this, but they know a lot more. But even when they leave their body, their access is limited. They don't have the ability to access what I can, because I move with a pure heart. I move with integrity, right? I'm not out there to gain, for personal gain, right? So when you do that and you move in alignment with integrity and unconditional love, you have unlimited access, right? But if you're moving with the intention to gain something for personal gain, you're not going to have access. Your access is going to be really limited. It's going to be like limited to like realm 1, right? Realm 2 maybe.
Right.
But you're not going to have access. So they do stuff, but it's really limited, and they actually like worship beings and stuff. So like they don't have the overall understanding. They still, because they don't have the ability to gain the knowledge themselves. So what they will do is they'll worship other beings that do. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Um, okay, we're gonna pivot back to. I remember what I was saying. So we plan our lives. So
Hmm.
is there? And I guess it's different, but would you say there's like four main events that are gonna happen? Let's say the big ones. Like I'm gonna say, okay, at 10, this is gonna happen. That's a big one. At 32, this will happen. At 40, and then at 60, whatever it is. No matter
Hmm.
what we do, we will get to those big events we planned, right? But there is free will in far as like the directions you can kind of take and the different paths, or is that Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's
Okay.
yeah, that's very accurate. So yeah, it's essentially like you can think of it as a on a ruler, right? And the big events would be one, two, three, four, five, six, for example, right? But in as you're going from 0 to 1, you can take any direction that you want, right? But you're always going to end up back at that one. It doesn't matter which route you take to get there, but you're going to end up at that big main event. Yeah.
Dang. That's like that. The whole plan your life thing is very hard, especially when you get into the. It's easy for me to understand right now, but then it's very hard for people to understand like the really bad things that happen to them, right? Whether we're talking about like rape or just like some really gnarly stuff
Yeah.
that you can go through in this world. So I find it's very difficult for people to accept that they planned certain things like that. What's your take
Yeah.
on that? Like when it comes to the really gnarly things, like children stuff,
All
like
right.
there's some evil shit, man. There really is. Even for
So
me,
there's
it's
a
very
couple
hard to think about.
so there's a couple ways to take this. One, you need to get out of the victim mentality and realize that you're a creator, right? That's like the in person, the in body experience is to realize, okay, things aren't happening, to you. They're happening be like you're creating things. It's hard to say that to somebody like that's gone through something, but really you're never a victim. That's one. And two, the same way I give a lot of props and respect to people that come here and that have a very hard time, right? Because not everything, but a lot of that is planned, right? And to plan to come here and have a tough life, to plan to come here and to be raped by repeatedly, or go through some
Lose your child or
grave
something.
traumatic exam,
Hmm.
yeah, to come here and to plan that is very tough. In the same way, even coming here to be a human in forgetfulness adds to your soul. That's going to add to you so much more, because instead of just coming here and being a human in forgetfulness, you came here was a human to be a human in forgetfulness and have a traumatic experience, right? So that's going to add to you so much more. And I have tremendous respect for anybody that comes here and has had a tough life for sure. And you guys, a lot of people that do that end up being one of the better, more experienced souls on the other side when they come out of here. Very respected, very, yeah, honored. Yeah, for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Um, this is another subject in this same vein that's kind of hard, and I'll tell you how I describe it. I would love to hear your opinion. So suicide. Um, just again from my limited knowledge being here, I'm like, well, I would imagine maybe it's like either it's either it's planned, I guess, or you had these plans and the game is a lot different than practice. So in theory, on the other side, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then you get here and you're like, oh man, this is way harder than I thought. And I don't mean to make light of it, but you know what I mean. But then maybe like I can't handle
Yeah.
this. I'm out. I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. Maybe next time I come, I'm gonna not take on so much. Do you think that's kind of like that, or do you think it's more you planned those sorts of things? Like how what's your take on people who end their lives early?
So a lot of it is that. A lot of it is the game is a lot harder than practice, right? So, you get here and it just becomes too much. But also, a lot of it is you fall out of love, you fall out of disconnection. Sometimes you get so far away from yourself that you see things through a microscopic lens and you think this is the only way out. But from your soul, your higher self, the overarching you knows everything's going to be okay, right? Like, say, for example, you just lost $1 million or something, and you're like, oh, this is it. My life is over. Well, it's because you don't know what's going to happen after that, right? You don't know. So a lot of times you get lost and caught up in the now, like, or you get blinders on, so you can't see the big perspective. But and it is hard here. I mean, I'm sure everybody that you have a conversation with can say that there was a moment in time when they were like, "Man, I don't want to be here anymore." It happens to all of us. I'm sure it does. Um, and the answer to that suicide, first, I would like to say that is never the answer for sure. As you came here for a reason, right? And when you take your own life, that reason will not be fulfilled, right? So if you don't fulfill the purpose that you came here for, what will that lead to? That will lead to regret. So if you take your own life, you will have regret, right? And also, I would like to say, you know, as opposed to suicide, you can just leave your body and get the same result that you would from, you know, pulling the plug permanently. You can just exit the game temporarily and you can come back and you can gain that same moment of relief, that same relief of suicide where boom, you have no more issues, no more trouble, no more trauma. You can leave your body and get that same relief. So, you know, that's a tough one, but and then you can come back, right? Come back with a new perspective. Come back and live better. So, you know, suicide, it's never the right way to go for sure.
That's tough, right? It's a tough subject regardless. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay. What do you see is coming next, man? Like what do you in the next couple of years, are we about to roll into like a pretty hectic time as most people think it's going to happen, or what do you see?
All right, so I'm pretty much unplugged from like what's going on here. Like I don't feed into the news or nothing. So a lot of people do say it's crazy and it's hectic, and that's all the show, right? That's all the show, right? If you want to get caught up in that Matrix stuff, then go ahead and watch the show, right? But ultimately, what I see is happening is everything's gonna open up, everything's gonna get better and better, and you know, especially as more people begin to awaken, and especially with the great work movement, you know, like we can leave our bodies and go directly to the other side and come back. Like, doesn't get any better than that. No more real than that. Like you're talking to literally people that come from the other side that come in direct contact with angels. All these beings, all these ancient beings, right? Like you can actually go and talk to them and come back and have the message. So with that going around, um, and just the Great Awakening in general, it's only going to get better and better. But to say that, in order to build anew, in order for the whole structure of this place to be better and to move in alignment with that, what has to happen? Um, the old has to be broken down, right? So there will be, you know, some things, you know, that crumble, some structures, you know, the monetary system has to crumble, governments has to crumble, these imaginary lines between countries have to go away. Like a lot of things have to happen. But when at first glance, if you're looking at it through a microscope, those changes may seem or appear scary or, oh no, what's going on? But ultimately, from the larger perspective, it will, a lot of great will come from that, right? So in order to build anew, the old must fall.
Darius says this is, I think he said this, I could be wrong, but he said this is the last time he's going to come, or was he saying that this is the last time any of us can come? Is this the last, like you only get one more time, or can I keep coming back? Like let's say 2080 I want to come back. I can, you think? Or
So it depends, right? So I believe when he said that he was referring to himself. But
okay.
so it depends on how quick this thing ends, right? It depends if everybody that comes here wakes up, remembers, does the job that they intend to do. And if it happens how it's supposed to, how, you know, I've been shown it happens. And, you know, I don't think there will be a 2080 where you can incarnate, my friend, because it's supposed to happen, you know, within
What
my
the hell are you
lifetime.
talking about? That's very quick. That's not that far away.
Quick? Yeah. Yeah. Quick to me would be like the next couple of days, but okay.
So
um, but
you're
yeah,
seeing that something big's gonna happen before 2080, before 2050.
we'll see.
I want to get into
But for
what's your
sure,
thoughts on this? You're freaking me out
for
slash
sure, I
also
would
getting me
say for
excited.
sure, I would for sure say before 2080, you know, for sure things will
Wow.
open up. Things, yeah, they will have the great celebration, you know, things like that for sure. Um, But then again, you know, that's dependent because anytime you're predicting a time event, that's always subject to change because time is
Mhm.
based off several variables. And in order for something like that to happen, every variable has to line up exactly, you know, to have that outcome happen. But the chances are extremely likely. Yeah.
Wow. Because your boy's only gonna be like 80 years old, man. I'm probably still here, hopefully. Hopefully, I'm still
Yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. So take care of your body, man. Take care of your body because this might be the last one that you'll ever need.
Oh, I haven't done a good job of that, so maybe I need to step that up.
Yeah.
Um, Man, it's been a lot of fun, dude. I mean, I really, I've been wanting to have you on for a minute now, so thanks for coming on. Is there anything you would like to end with? Tell the viewers. I'm gonna link your website, all that good stuff down below, and definitely want to have you back on, man. If you'd be open for round two someday, but um, yeah, I'll give you the floor, my friend.
Yeah, man. Segi, I just want to, it was a great time talking to you, man. I love your energy, man, and you're very light about things. I love how you approach things, and you have a pretty solid understanding of a lot of things, man. So thank you for having me. The conversation was great. I don't necessarily have anything else to add, unless you have any additional questions or anything. But no, yeah.
No, man, that's it. I had a good time. You've if anything got me pumped up to like keep going. Um, I had my experiences and I had kids, so I'm throwing that as my excuse. But it was hard, man. Your boy wasn't sleeping. It was crazy. It was crazy. So still,
Yeah.
still hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm kind of like, okay, I need to get back to this. And so I feel that now. Even with you coming on, there's been some things happening on the back end, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting pushed to keep going down this path. So, um, yeah, man, I'm excited. Thank you, my brother. We will have you on again. And yeah, until next time. Cheers.